Well, I took all the time in the world and I honestly, with all sincerity, could not figure out much to talk about this chapter. Hi, welcome to the Samurai 8 cast. This is Nikki. Once again, always, forever maybe? Who knows? But welcome to the podcast. I hope you have had a good week. There's not much to talk about here. As I stated, there is a lot of nothing. Sometimes this is going to happen when it comes to weekly chapters. We are only going to get one thing to really talk about, especially since we're starting to actually get within the actual story. We won't actually have as long of episodes sometimes just because there's not much to talk about. So what we're going to do with this episode is we're going to just go through what happened in some previous chapters to get us up to speed with what's going to happen in this chapter. We're going to go through a quick summary of this chapter. It probably won't take long because most of it is a battle, and I'm not really someone who wants to narrate fight scenes, but I will try my best. And then we're just going to, honestly, there's no new characters that are introduced in this chapter. There are no themes that are really relevant in this chapter. Nothing really happens in this chapter other than we learn about key holders. So we're just going to talk about key holders and handle bones for a little bit, and then we're going to be done. It's not going to be a very long episode, I think. I don't really even have a script written down this time because I didn't really find it to be necessary if we're only going to talk about one thing after the summary. So we should probably get started. So all we have to know from last time is that Daruma was awakened by Hachimaru, and Daruma has accepted the position of being Hachimaru's master as a samurai. And Hachimaru still does not really have any of the qualities or aspects of samurai that we have seen thus far. We haven't seen him get armor from his holder. We haven't seen him use this soul blade that we've seen from other samurai. And Daruma has told Hachimaru that he is willing to train him, but that means he has to leave his old life behind. And Hachimaru, of course, immediately accepted this. So now we're on chapter 5, which is titled Departure. So of course we start off with a nice chapter cover page. It has Hachimaru eating an apple while Hayotaro is maybe even shaking off water because they're next to a river and a waterfall. The scenery is really nice. There seems to be a little hut there. We don't really know where they are, but it gives a nice, pleasant, moving along feeling within it. So we get into the story, and we see that Daruma is able to open a secret room that is next to Hachimaru's house. And he does state that he sensed the gravity of the horse samurai from here, and there was a hidden door. And Hachimaru, while Daruma is going inside of this secret room, is so excited. He's patting Hayotaro and stating he can't wait for his samurai training. He wonders what they're going to be doing. And Daruma sees the horse samurai holder, and he gets on top of its back and actually activates through his paws, hitting a specific spot on the horse holder, and it activates it. And out comes a handle bone. We've seen handle bones before now. We saw them last chapter. And we see that Daruma now has a second handle bone. He showed another one to hold the crimson blade, but this time he has one from the horse holder. And he remarks that to keep this horse holder in here, and that the handle bone resided within the horse, that Hachimaru's dad does know something about samurai, but he doesn't really seem to want to explore this. He just takes the handle bone and he rides in front of Hachimaru, and he states that they're going to get going to the training grounds, and Hachimaru questions where this holder came from. And Hachimaru questions where this holder came from. He says, "Isn't that a horse samurai's holder?" And Daruma says, "Yes, but this is no ordinary holder. This one belongs to samurai, and they are known as key holders." And we have heard the key holder term before a little bit in the last few chapters, so this chapter looks like we're going to get an explanation for this. And right before they ride out, Daruma falls asleep. But he wakes up and they are able to go. And Hachimaru asks, "What are key holders?" And he asks why Daruma wanted his own holder when he could just ride on Hayataro with him. Daruma states that it's because he is a samurai, and he does not currently have a key holder. And that to samurai, a key holder is like a partner. But they're even more important. A key holder is a samurai's weapon, their armor, their shield, and their mount. It is a symbol belonging only to that samurai. And he states he'll explain more at the hideout, so I guess we're going to get more information on key holders at the hideout. But this gives us a pretty quick explanation that your key holder is something specific to you as a samurai, that this key holder is a symbol of you. And we have seen that with the wandering lone wolf, who also had a lion dog key holder. So Hachimaru having a key holder as well as a lion dog might even spark a sort of soft spot within Daruma. And at one point they're taking a break, and Daruma can see how well Hachimaru connects to Hayataro, and he seems pretty pleased about this. And they continue to ride off, and they see that the hideout is a cave entrance that is guarded by two headless statues, and the statues are huge. They must be at least, like, I don't know, I'd say maybe 100 feet tall, maybe less, maybe 70 feet. But Daruma states that the space between them, this cave sort of structure, is the hideout. And when Hachimaru goes to enter this cave, he immediately gets stopped by the statue. And the statue holds up a hand and blocks them immediately. And Hachimaru sees that the statue moved and stopped him. And he's asking for an explanation from Daruma, but Daruma's sleeping again. And Hachimaru is yelling and stating, if there's one characteristic you really don't need, it's falling asleep when it's time to explain things. I bet you're secretly a wimp too. You're not Master Daruma anymore. I'm gonna call you Master Darunap. And Hayataro starts to talk to Hachimaru, and Hachimaru realizes that these statues are also holders. So he gets on Hayataro's back, and he states he's not trained yet, but he's still a samurai, so he's still going to fight them. And he tries to slash at them with his model sword, but he's not even making a dent, and even states that it's harder than the cake tank that he had just previously fought. And he's wondering what they're even made of while a fist is coming at them, and Daruma stops it with his blade. Hachimaru calls him Master Darunap, and Daruma states that's not my name, and uses a Kongo Yasha style called the Blade Bark. It looks like maybe send out a blast of energy and knock back the statue. And Hachimaru is warning Daruma about the other statue coming from behind him, and Daruma states to watch in silence. And he takes out this handlebone that he had taken from the horse, and he takes it out. Daruma removes his own soul from his stomach, and he states, the symbol of courage that resides in a samurai's core, the true blade a samurai wields. And he puts it on top of the handlebone, and it turns into actually the sword that we have seen in the depiction of Daruma when he was the wandering lone wolf. And he states, a samurai's soul, and slices one of the statues clear in half. And then the other one that was knocked back by the blade bark is rising again and shoots off from his fingers his own missiles. And Daruma states a katana is not the only weapon a samurai has, and he puts his paw in the same spot where he activated the horse holder, and the horse holder allows for these guns to come out, and he starts shooting at the missiles and destroys them with these bullets from these pistols that he has created from the horse holder. And Daruma then takes the horse holder and has it convert samurai armor onto him. And he takes the samurai soul blade again, and he slices at more of the missiles, and then does a Kongo Yasha style disc hunter where he spins in a 360-degree angle and slices the entire statue in half. And Hachimaru is amazed, and he says, oh, so that's how a samurai fights. And Daruma says, pardon me for earlier. I dropped off to sleep before I could deactivate the guard holders that protect this place. And Hachimaru asks Hayataro if he thinks he'll be able to do that too, and Hayataro seems pretty doubtful about it. And Daruma states, Hayataro is still an ordinary holder. He is not yet a key holder, not until I give you a handle bone. And Daruma does a similar motion onto Hayataro that he did on the horse holder. And from Hayataro opens a little slot where the handle bone comes out. And Daruma says, do you see that? That's a handle bone. It is the handle of a samurai's true blade. As long as you have it, Hayataro will be your key holder, and yours alone. And Hachimaru grabs it and states, now I can finally start my samurai training. I can't wait. Let's go. And that's the chapter. Like I said, that there's not a lot to go over here, and we don't really have much to talk about because there's no new characters. No one really has any character development during this. We're still in exposition, and we're going to start learning how samurai train, and that's just going to lead to more exposition and some more information. So I'm just going to talk about key holders this time and handle bones, and we'll be done pretty quickly. This is a very short episode. I kind of apologize, but I couldn't really think of much else to really talk about. So from what we learned about key holders is that pretty much almost what I've been stating and predicting and analyzing throughout the past 4 other episodes. It seems that key holders are specific to the samurai. They provide the armor. They provide a partnership with you because, as we can tell, Hachimaru can talk to Hayotaro. It does bring up the question of how does Hachimaru talk to Hayotaro without the handle bone that seems to provide this connection between the key holder and the samurai. This might be because Hayotaro was revived in chapter 1 by Hachimaru, so it created some sort of bond between them. But we don't see Daruma talking to the horse holder. It seems that Hayotaro might just be a talkative holder. We also see that there are other holders that can exist. They don't have to be animals. I thought they were just animals. But these statues did not look like animals at all. They were more like people with like finger guns and heads, kind of, but not really heads, more like necks with maybe an eye in them. So holders can be anything, it seems, as long as they aren't human. And it seems like they are activated by samurai. It seems like maybe only samurai can properly activate them. But is that entirely true? We're not sure because Hachimaru's dad had the horse holder and was able to put the handle bone back into the horse as alluded by Daruma. So we're not entirely even sure if key holders can be activated only by samurai or by regular people. Again, we don't know really much about Hachimaru's dad, though. We don't even know his name still, so we're not entirely sure who this guy even is, or if this guy's a samurai, or if this guy has samurai-like powers, or if he has some sort of special connection, or if he just knows how samurai stuff works, and he can activate it himself. We've only seen samurai activate locker balls. We've only seen samurai activate key holders. We've only seen samurai activate these styles and these souls, but it seems that normal people can also activate them and use them, as long as we're under the assumption that Hachimaru's dad is a normal person. As for handle bones, it seems that there's only one handle bone per holder, especially key holders. I don't know if there's a handle bone that exists in every holder. I guess that's something we would have to find out later. But Hayotaro did have a handle bone within him, and that makes Hachimaru have this special connection with Hayotaro in that they will be bonded and he will be his key holder now. A lot of people were assuming that Hayotaro was Hachimaru's key holder before Hachimaru even knew what that was. He just assumed everyone else knew what they were talking about with samurai and assumed that he had this key holder and it would be a key holder just because it's his holder. But no, it's because of the handle bone. And the handle bone will allow him to pull his own samurai soul from his insides and be able to get samurai armor, to be able to fight correctly, to learn the Kongo Yasha style, all these sort of things. Now, of course, something we did learn that was kind of blown out of the water now was I had a theory that Hachimaru's dad was the person who put Daruma in a new body, but it seems from last chapter where he was very surprised that Daruma was in the body he was, but also that Daruma had a lion dog holder, and the holder that right now we're getting the implication was the holder for the Crimson Blade, even though in the first chapter the samurai stated the Crimson Blade came from a lion dog, I believe, or a wolf or something like that. It seems like that theory's gone right now. Hachimaru's dad did not destroy Daruma, the Wandering Lone Wolf, and he did not take the Wandering Lone Wolf's soul, as we saw. Daruma still has his own soul, and it's the same exact soul and blade that he used in the depiction of the Wandering Lone Wolf that was shown to us while the father was talking about the Wandering Lone Wolf. So this is some random samurai. This might be the soul and the holder of the samurai that we saw from last chapter. And or I guess we got a glimpse of it, the antagonist, one of the antagonists that are upcoming, who wants to seek revenge against the father. This might be that person's holder, and that might be that person's soul, but he's still alive, so I'm not entirely sure if that's actually the case, because it seems like a samurai's soul is what powers them, and that's what gives them their blade. I'm not sure if they can survive without them. So some predictions for the next chapter. Obviously, we're going to learn some more of the Kongo Yasha style. We've seen 2 new techniques this time. Very powerful. It looks like it seems to be a very versatile sort of style. We haven't seen any other samurai styles though, but that's fine. We'll learn them along the way. But we're going to see Hachimaru finally start to learn it because he has his own handle bone. We're going to see what his blade looks like probably, because he's going to learn how to pull his soul out of his stomach and make his own blade. We're going to see what a samurai armor looks like. We're going to see a lot of cool samurai stuff and probably a lot more exposition. I'm not going to think that we're going to really... I think we're just in a training arc right now. We're not really going to go any farther with it. Then it being a training arc, we might see an antagonist pop up, but we're not entirely sure. It doesn't... Kishimoto isn't someone who writes in antagonists during training arcs from what I've seen with Naruto. I don't think he's going to write in an antagonist here. Instead, we're going to have Hachimaru learn this technique, and then he's going to use it against an antagonist, and we'll see it fully realized then. But that's the end of the episode. There was really nothing to talk about. I once again apologize, but this is how it is sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have a weekly chapter and there's just not much to talk about. There's not much that's going to happen, not much to discuss really. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, you can always email me at samurai8cast@gmail.com. The link is in the description. Follow me on Twitter if you would like to see when the episode comes out on Twitter as well. And also tell your friends if they like Samurai 8, they should watch this. Spread it around. Hope you enjoyed this short episode again. I'm sorry. But, but this is just how it is sometimes. Sometimes we're not going to have a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. Theories can only go so far, and we are only 5 chapters in. Again, I only use the Viz translations, but they're all free right now on the Viz website with Shonen Jump. And even still, the subscription is very cheap. I only use official translations, and I only use official chapters because I don't want to get blacklisted. I hope you don't get blacklisted either. I'll see you next week. Maybe we'll have more to talk about next time. Until then, I'll see you later. Find your key holder maybe. Find a handle bone. Maybe don't destroy every statue that comes in your way. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.